Bob Stoops to Iowa when Kirk is a real old man and retires. Do you buy?
Anything's possible, I guess. But the truth of it is, Bobby Stoops is not a whole lot younger than Kirk Ferentz.
Right.
I don't know how Bob feels about coaching again. He certainly loves Iowa. I don't know that that'll be in Bobby's future because maybe Kirk's going to go for a while yet. I suspect he will.
And to sort of simplify this, Don, I think most would agree, despite some of the struggles in recent years from Iowa as it relates to running the football effectively, last year was a huge step forward, at least in my opinion. And some people wanted to kind of discredit 2020 as being a COVID year and it didn't count, blah, 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 blah. I think there were some major strides from the interior of the line. I think Cody Ince really emerged last year. Kyler Schott, you mentioned he's out right now. Hopefully he can get back soon, at least for the resumption of conference season. I believe that'd be week 5. But that interior of the line has really improved. And one thing that I've questioned, Don, in the past was, remember in 2019, pass protection really broke down because there were some holes in the center of that line. And, of course, Tyler Linderbaum anchors that now. His health is of prime importance. But without Kyler Schott, maybe Justin Britt slides in there. Are you comfortable with the depth they have? I know you alluded to it earlier, but are you comfortable with the depth they have there at offensive line? Because obviously that's going to play a huge role in getting Tyler Goodson and Ivory Kelly-Martin going.
I flash back on something that Kirk said years ago as an offensive line coach. And, of course, we had a number 1 ranked team back in 85. I think even in 1985, I do know this, in general, Kirk's goal was to have – it's unrealistic that you can have 10 players in the O-line that can play winning football. And when I say that, go out and play winning football against just about anybody on our schedule. That's hard to do. If you're lucky, you have maybe 8 guys that can do that. You have a 2 deep, of course, but there are a couple of guys that you really, whether you want to admit it or not, you really hope they don't find themselves playing against the best teams on our schedule. If you're lucky, you have 8. And if you do have 8, you'd like to think then you have a backup center that could play winning football. And you have a third guard that could play winning football. And then one of those 3 guards has to be able to play both left and right to effectively give you a 2 deep there. And then, of course, the same thing at tackle. You hope to have a third tackle that can play winning football. And now one of those 3 tackles has to be able to play both left and right. That's about as efficient as you can be, is to have 8 guys you can win with. You'll have a true 2 deep, but the reality might be, of course, if one of those starters goes down, you're not necessarily going to play that guy that's listed second team behind him. It depends, of course, on whether or not there's a better solution involving one of those other backups.